In life, really the only thing we as humans have to fear is death. Everything will end, including you. And when the curtains close on your adventures, what will happen? Where will you go? Will it be the white gates or the black endless void? We don't know. No one knows. No one can know. But we persevere despite that. We go on. And even though one day it will all be over, we live. Unless you get hit by a truck. Isekai, isekai. Oh, what a long history I have with you. And what choice words I have to describe you. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, I don't actually like isekai all that much. Yeah, I know. Controversial opinions only on this channel. But like everything, it's a spectrum. And even though it is a very tilted spectrum, there is still this side. And there are actually some bangers. You know, a couple. And, oh yeah, just to get this out of the way, because I know some of you are gonna ask. I am not talking about these ones, not because I don't like them, in fact Konosuba is on my top 10 list, but because I have a method to my madness. And I'm crazy, I'm like the Joker, I'm crazy like the Joker. I'm like the Joker. I'm starting with a solid 8 to 9 out of 10 on the blue scale, and personally the most agreeable pick on this shittish list. It's called I used high-level medicine to counter magic. And I know I keep breaking character, but this is the last time, because I need to tell you that they're all gonna have shit names, okay? It's a fucking universal constant that no matter how high the quality is, all modern isekai will have shit names. I used high-level medicine to counter magic is, as the name suggests, about a doctor going to an alternate universe where what we consider to be modern medicine does not exist, and instead the people rely on a small group of healers who are exclusively human to do all the healing. And of course it's expensive, and of course it's a fucking religious thing. I don't even need to say it, and that annoys me. But what doesn't annoy me is the actual story itself. You know when you watch a video on something you didn't think you really cared about, and then you proceed to watch another video, and then another video, and another, until you have a rudimentary amount of knowledge on some random thing? Well, that's the same as this manga. It feels like a hospital manga that got turned into an isekai, and not the other way around, which I think is the secret to its, like, actually good quality. Like, I'm just gonna get this out of the way even before I talk about the story. Art is so important, and not just because I like the pretty colors, but because it adds a whole nother medium to more clearly express ideas and show what the author is trying to say. One of my favorite mangas of all time is this manga called Mercy Lego, and I can say with pretty strong confidence that a large portion of that love is for the art specifically, and the way that it so accurately depicts this grimy, dark, unethical world that the cartoonishly weird characters reside in. The many shots displaying the overpowered nature of the enemies, as well as the terrifying shadow that follows the main character, and the stench of death that permeates any room they walk into. What I'm trying to say is that art is more than just brain candy to keep your zoomer brain entertained. And I say all this because isekai has some of the most boring, bland, uninspired, completely snooze-fest art that I have ever seen. It's crazy, bro, I swear. Shit looks like a fucking preset, bro. So I cannot describe the feeling of a relief and euphoria I had when I opened up the Doctor manga and it looked like this. The textures of the buildings have more care and thought put into them than your average isekai. The way the world interacts and uses these structures makes sense. There's an amount of intention put into everything in this world. That's rare to see in any genre. Talking about caring, it's clear that the author cares a lot about practicing medicine. Let's just say that the passion is infectious. It's obvious that the author thinks medical shit is really interesting and wants you to know as well, and I personally have no interest in anything medical or want to be a doctor. I want to be a YouTuber who talks about hentai. But even I was reading this and seeing all the cool medical terms and procedures and shit, and I was like, yeah, you know, that's pretty cool. I'm happy that this guy's happy. Vicarious joy, if you will. Like obviously it's not all sunshine and rainbows. In a world where medical care is incredibly expensive and difficult to get and only practiced by certain people, usually of a certain race, the world can be pretty fucking shitty. Good thing that doesn't exist in real life, huh? I think the world finds a nice balance between cartoonish horror porn and cherry smiley no problem bullshit. All the diseases being real adds this as well. It's way easy to believe that the red light district is struggling with an STD outbreak rather than some magical curse. Ooh. The story is, well, it's an isekai story, but he's not just ultra powerful, he's just doctor. And you know what? Doctors are the real heroes. I give Doctor manga 6 appendix removals out of 1 colonoscopy. If you were to ask me what I believe to be the best isekai besides Konosuba, because it doesn't really take itself seriously, then I would have to say ReZero. And I'm being serious here, okay? I know ReZero has gained a mega meme status, and it's kind of hard to look at it as anything other than or as the show that they made for that blue-haired girl in the Cockdog videos. But the show is good. Like, good show, good. I really like ReZero. It evokes a feeling in me that very few other pieces of media hit me with, and that is fear. And I mean real fear. Like horror movies are scary, but the popular stuff only tends to hit you with a very surface level caveman monkey fear, and nothing more. When it's over, it doesn't leave anything on your mind like good fear should. ReZero does. If you don't know, ReZero is about this dude Subaru who randomly gets isekai'd and yada yada yada, you know, blah 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 blah, and then he dies. Or not. That's what's scary about Subaru's situation. It dabbles into the much more complex fear of not death, but a lack of death. I feel we live our lives with this sort of safety net underneath us, in the fact that one day we will die. All of us will inevitably leave this earth, but what if that wasn't true? Everything you do and say will have to be followed up on, or resolved. There is no room for mistakes, and no matter how hard you try, it's going to be you versus the world the rest of time. Now, of course, that's just the base. Much like this script right now, you can always present an interesting idea, but without the special sauce to go along, shit's just dry-ass chips. Luckily, ReZero does do that quite well, actually. These small sound effects symbolize his insanity. That sound. I like to imagine Subaru actually can hear these noises, and they act as a taunt, fueling his insanity, knowing that when he hears that noise, it's time to get back up and watch everyone he loves die once more. Yo, I really wrote that into the script. What the fuck? I just think that ReZero is what most isekai should be. Like, when you look at the premise alone, it is bog standard isekai slop. Any other author, and this would have been called In Another World with the Cheat Restart Skill. So thank God it turned out so good. I want to go through the characters real quick as well, because I think that's also a good point where the story really succeeds. It feels like there's no one you can trust, and not because of some fake scary dark shit, but because every character feels conniving and calculated in their approach. They feel like they can't be trusted, not because that's what the author wants, but instead because they all have complex thought processes and things that they want to get done, whether Subaru wants it to happen or not. Even the more seemingly surface level characters like Roswell have their personalities fleshed out further throughout the seasons, and slowly their much more complex agendas become apparent. A story as complex as this one can often feel complicated and incoherent, and that's often because the author themselves don't even know what's going on, but the interwebbing of each small action by every character makes me believe that this world rotates in a clockwork fashion, and the fact that Subaru has achieved so much in such a short time becomes that much more impressive. Alright, that's enough actual fucking shit, alright? Okay, I only have so much cringe in me, and I'm using it all right now, despite the fact that I need it till the rest of my life. I talk about funny moment. Funny moment! Ah, funny moment! I become the world's strongest witch. I will live freely in a world where only I can access the guide side. Imagine if you, a creature in a fantasy world where magic is abundant and the king and queens rule over the kingdom with an iron fist. Now imagine you were a massive dumbass, more of a massive dumbass. Now finally, imagine if you could access the forums for every facet of your world. That is this manga. She's not OP? That's incorrect. She's OP-ness. Wait. She meets the Shadow Clan, a group of unapologetic murderers who pride themselves on their skills to kill and control the world. Mayonnaise! And I mean actual mayonnaise this time, not just a euphemism for cum. Like, she actually makes mayonnaise. I like this part. This is definitely going to be my most divisive recommendation, because it, kind of sucks. But it's funny. So I'm like, What I like about this one is that it's just how stupid she is, and how it keeps fucking working. But it stays non-serious and fluid enough that you don't start going at every joke. Comedy is a hard one to get you reading, especially if that's all that there is to it. At least with fucking Suck Extreme, you horny motherfuckers can read that shit one-handed. But trust me, please, please. I like this one, and even if you keep this between us, you know, don't tell anyone else, any of the other viewers, you know, I said this to you, but you know, they're all kind of, you know? This one's just for you. This one isn't actually an isekai. It's just a fantasy. There's not much to it, so there's not much to this, so I'm just gonna say that, I'm excited for where this one goes. Yeah. Saijaku, Teima, wa Gomi, Hiroi no Tabi o Hajimemashita is getting an anime soon, and this just keeps happening. I'm just that good, I guess. We return to a nice, comfy level of simplicity, familiarity, and most importantly, quality. I feel pretty confident with this one, and think it fits perfectly into this video. What's that? It's not isekai? Huh. I'm really pushing it here, aren't I? But I got something up my ass for this one as well. And it really questions the whole identity of isekai as a genre in the modern day as well, so let's get into it. Despite the fact that the word isekai literally means another world, I do not believe that that is something required to be listed as an isekai. So when I say isekai, what comes to mind? Something like another world, hero's party, demon king, adventure guild, girl, love interest, sidekick who could perhaps have been a slave at one point, special cheat power, useless skill that turns out to be amazing. Okay, look, this list could go on forever, but here are all the ones that I could think of. Now here are all the ones that Saijaku follows. But isn't that just a fantasy? Well, when we look at what is undoubtedly the most famous and referenced depiction of fantasy, Lord of the Rings, then we see that the tropes are similar, but notably different enough that I personally feel that isekai nowadays isn't even isekai. Like, skip the first couple chapters of all these shit copy-paste isekai, and it is genuinely just a fantasy. If you're still confused, essentially, in my opinion, this is still an isekai, and it takes something like Free Rent for me to consider it a fantasy. Sorry, I just had to get it off my chest. I think the main reason why this type of isekai world is so romanticized is because it feels free. In our overprotected lives, it can feel like our entire pathway is preordained. Like, yeah, we all choose our own career paths, our friends, what we spend our money on, but it can feel like choosing from options given to us, rather than really making our own. That sense of discovery and true independence is gone. But not in this world. There's a vast array of unknown treasures and dungeons and interesting things that go beyond your own imagination. It really feels like the by yourself surviving with what you have type manga. And it fills me with this serene happiness to watch. It does start dark. Classic character fated for greatness actually has shit power. And now parents hate them and want them to die. So they leave and must live alone in the forest with only their prior knowledge and some magic bags. And I just want to talk about these magic bags because I thought they were so cool. Because, okay, so there's lesser magic bags, and I always thought that the like magic bags were just infinite. But not here. I know it sounds like I'm joking, but I'm actually like I'm way too interested in these bags. And then the way they are medieval landfills, because where else are you supposed to put all the broken swords and armor and expired potions? Because potions expire, and how do they get rid of everything? They dissolve it in slimes. But not every slime, because different slimes dissolve different things, so they need slime tamers. I think you understand at this point why I like this one. It's cute. She's cute. I'm happy while reading this one. Although I will say it is sort of picking up in stakes a little in recent chapters, so it'll be interesting to see if it can successfully shift tones. I pre-apologize because some of you are going to be annoyed with this one, but I generally enjoy Villager wants to save the villainess no matter what. It's funny, what can I say? It's well written, I enjoy it. Also, I favor the villainess is good, and I've sung its praises before, but don't tell Claire I said this, but recently the chapters have been a little and Villager wants to save the villainess no matter what is getting better. So, is it pig fiction? No, not at all. I could tell you he reincarnates as a mob character and you can probably figure out the rest on your own. But he has a gun, and I think that's kind of funny. The author doesn't feel like they're just trying to get a check. I think that they saw all the copy-paste shit and were like, that was kind of fun. And I'm like, that is kind of fun. I'm on board. I'm on board. This is Ellen. He's basic bitch who knows how to gun. He can also plane, which is cool. Yes, this is one of those isekai where the protagonist goes, fucking isekai world, I'm going American, and proceeds to America all over their enemies. Some dude will hit him with the spigularis floor, and he'll hit them with the 9 milli. There's also the other isekai victim who's evil and shit, but I kind of like just how hard they get shit on. Watching someone win feels good, even if they have not earned it at all. This shit is mid, and don't get me twisted. I know that, and there's one manga here I would not give a shit about whether or not you read it. It's this one. In fact, it's so min-formulaic that I seem to have a strange affinity towards two types of characters, one of which is the annoyed, pissed off, smart character. And my death flags show no signs of ending has at least one with Harold. He fucking hates everything. It is most literally baked into his DNA to fucking hate you because he has been reincarnated as the villain. All right, no, it's good. It's good. It's good. I think why I like these pissed off characters is because it feels like how I personally would act if I were getting thrown into a position like this. I would be fine in terms of getting shit done, but by no means would I be happy about it. It's like a very absurd but reasonable reaction to the classic anime bullshit. Like, we all turn our brains off while reading a lot of anime shit, but imagine if you were actually put into a copy-paste anime world. It would suck! You'd want to kill yourself! That should be so grating to your psyche. Like, actually. So watching a dude get unreasonably angry at every dumb fucking thing that happens is oddly cathartic. Especially as someone who kind of feels like he has been stuck in this dumb shit for a second too long. So in terms of the rest, is it good? Yeah, it's fine. Harold, the main character, treats the world more like a game than an artificial world with rules. It's always fun to see someone actually use the knowledge of their previous world, but not in a super simple way that doesn't have any nuance to it. Like developing a new form of fertilizer to use as a bargaining chip over another region. Like that shows a little bit of ingenuity in what you're doing with your abilities. Also to specifically not get laid, but I'm not gonna say that the art's extraordinary, but it has its times. And the character's expressions display a nice level of hee hee that makes me smile, makes me happy. I think what the story could definitely use way more of is stakes and a sense of urgency and genuine concern from the main character, but don't get me wrong, I love the way that he lies. But, you know, if they showed him to be a little bit remorseful for his actions, that'd be kind of nice. That's it, I'm done. Alright, thank you for watching, bruh. Like and subscribe. Yeah, bye.